Over here, young elephant, son of Zeus, whose name is Horton. I have a favor to ask. What do you think about numbers? Did we find them, or did they find us? Did we invent them, or did they invent us? Are they solely a product of our brains? Or do they exist independently of us? If so, where? For they obviously don't exist here. We are hoping you will be able to pull off a second act. We are hoping you will be able to find them, and bring back proof of life, or proof of their existence. Will you please have a go at it? Maybe the words of the great 20th century logician, Kurt Gödel, will help you. Speaking about human, higher life forms, he said, and I quote, "These higher beings are connected to others by analogy, not by composition," end quote. Young Horton, your guess is as good as mine, probably even better. But I would guess that if numbers exist on their own, outside of the minds of man, then they would exist in something analogous to an ecosystem. That natural selection would be in operation. But fitness might be a measure of beauty, and reproduction an uncovering of truth. Could there be some sort of entanglement between our two worlds? Perhaps our computers are terraforming new landscapes in their worlds, as something they are doing is accelerating the expansion of ours. Do your hugely gifted dears have another act left in them? In any event, young Horton, numbers seem to be reacquiring their old spooky presence of being. Why is the sequence of primes seemingly raising its head in the heart of matter? I am waiting for the pattern of the primes to show up in the DNA myself, while at the same time our corner of the universe is feeling more and more like some kind of cosmic lockup. This place appears to be little more than a vast oversized freezer, with a door that is locked from the outside. I wonder if they left the lights on purpose. Maybe this is where they bury their dead, and we, and the rest of life, are just a special case of a deceased number, that whenever a number falls, the universe must rise. Or it is just a place where they like to dump their garbage. You must find them and tell them, Horton. Tell them to let us out of here, for the sake of the children, to show some mercy and open up the door. I am hoping, young Horton, that you could find them and get the ball rolling. I know you did it once before. I read about it in that wonderful storybook about Jack. I think that I, along with the rest of mankind, owe you an apology, Horton. We humans are always going on and bloody on about how the nose of the dog is the best and finest nose there is. Well, it's simply not true, and it is wrong that we humans never say anything concerning your proboscis extraordinarius. For surely your trunk is the greatest nose on earth. It is highly mobile, it is an excellent sniffer, it is very expressive, it works nicely as your first hand, it works even better as your second mouth, and it is gorgeous to look at. Next to your nose, the dog's nose is a sick joke. Fido's idea of a nose is all work and no play. It's always about function. Every time with function, 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 until that time when they decide to bring some formal concerns to the table. I say no thank you. The dog's nose, which is the mayor of the dog's face, ought to be more open to things other than himself. I will advise anyone who will listen, Horton, to love the dog, not his nose. Well, I can't ask a dog to do an elephant's work, so I am asking you, can you help us, Horton? Won't you please do something? Do you see how the varieties of number, which do not in any way appear to be here, can have such an uncanny, unreasonable ability to handle everything which does appear to be here? How the physics seems to be prefigured by mathematics, instead of the other way around. Numbers act as nature's medium of exchange, or the language of such accountings, whether it is addressing a cork or facing a cosmos. There is nothing too big or too small which number cannot handle. It was not the size of the club in our hand, but it was by luck, and by our superior ability, in relation to our competition, to recognize and manipulate numbers, that mankind rocketed himself up to the top of the food chain, and beyond, to the bottom of the moon. Numbers are the thread, and their manipulation is the stitch, which we find at every scale, no matter how large or small, throughout the all of creation. Do you hear them, Horton? Do you hear their constant murmuring? Knit 2, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1. But, by the time we have turned our head to find out who is murmuring, we see nobody there. Where is the tailor things? Who is wearing his product? These clothes haven't got an emperor. Where are the various nations of number? Horton, where do they be? It's time for us to find out. You found some hidden beans before. I think you can do it again. We need proof, so maybe you can bring me back a few yards of the cube root of 3. If you do that, I will use it to knit a nice little warmer for your Dory's nose. I bet you will like it, Horton, because it will be very shiny. It will be some very shiny stuff. You like it, it likes you. So great, son of Zeus. If you really want to learn about numbers, you are going to have to learn how to put yourself in their position. My young amigo Horton, I pray you accept this quest.